My hair okay? Cause oh, you know what? I didn't. I didn't turn the light on.
Oops.
God damn it.
Oops.
I was gonna say I don't know what it is, but every time we do video, like my hair is always a mess.
Maybe you should hire a stylist.
I should. Get me prepared to be on camera.
Yeah.
Anyway, we just got back from J.K. Rowling's Pokemon. You know what's interesting is Pokemon Sun and Moon just came out too.
Nice.
So I wonder if they had planned that to open it up the same weekend Pokemon came out.
Probably not likely.
Conspiracy.
Yes.
Anyway, we were talking before we went into the movie that I have not seen all of the Harry Potter movies.
Neither have I.
I've seen two. I've seen two movies.
I've seen 3. Well, technically 4, because of course now the trend is every final movie split into 2 parts. So I watched Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, and both halves of Deathly Hallows.
Yeah. I've seen the first one and Goblet of Fire. And I've been told that Goblet of Fire is the bad one.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell because Harry Potter has a very... I keep forgetting how, like...
I guess adamant fan base?
Yeah, the size of the fan base, too. Like, I keep forgetting that is, like, a thing. Because, I mean, I would love to watch the rest of the movies one day, just to marathon them.
Yeah.
Because they're all in a nice Blu-ray packet. Maybe get a hold of that.
True.
But yeah, I wanted to see them before going into this movie, because I wasn't sure if I'd be okay. I mean, I know Harry Potter well enough, I think.
Yeah.
But I was worried that I would miss out on references and everything. But
no, there weren't that many references to be made in this movie.
I think as long as you have a basic idea how the world works, you should be okay.
But Fantastic Beasts was actually a book. It was a spin-off. But the way it was written was... It was essentially just a field guide.
Oh,
a
yeah?
field guide to different monsters, and what would happen is, in the book, with the field guide, there would be footnotes from the Harry Potter characters, like Hermione or Harry would write about, like, their experiences with these beasts themselves.
Because Newt in the movie, he was writing that book.
Yeah.
So it's kind of meta. It's like Flight of Dragons.
Okay.
Because the original Flight of Dragons book was just like a textbook about dragons. It was like artwork and just little blurbs about how it is. And the cartoon, the animated movie, is about the author who's going to write the book.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, so this is pretty much the same thing. That's what the movie is.
Yeah. Yeah, so the movie stars our boy Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne, yeah. This is the main reason I wanted to see this.
Yeah. Man, I wish we vlogged when we went to go see Jupiter Ascending.
God, so do I.
I love that movie. It is...
Mainly for him.
It is...
That movie's the reason I'm a fan of that actor.
Yes. He is a very, very good actor.
Yeah.
But, goddamn, he was in one of the best, worst movies ever made.
If it weren't for him, I don't think that movie would have been tolerable.
Go! Go! I create life!
Yes.
And we knew that
I lost my shit when that happened.
I love that movie. And he was like whispering most of the time.
He was either wheezing his lines or yelling them uncontrollably. It was...
Go find her.
What do you think, Nino? I didn't even know his name throughout the movie, so I just ended up calling him Baron Greenback. What do you think, Nino?
Oh.
Shall we capture Danger Mouse today? You know, it's like...
That's something else I gotta watch again.
Yeah.
Anyway, he doesn't do any over the top because this movie was like legit good.
It was really.
We thought so. We don't know what the Harry Potter fans are really gonna think about it, but you know.
Fuck. It was all right.
Whatever.
The visuals were amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's go with the good stuff first before I get into the gripes.
I liked Newt and Kowalski. What was his name?
Yeah, Kowalski.
Yeah,
The two
Kowalski.
of them.
What happened was they do the old cliche where like they switch briefcases accidentally.
Mhm.
So this guy Kowalski gets the suitcase full of Pokemon.
Yeah,
and
all of Newt Scamander's creatures.
So he kind of gets involved with them, and he tags along for a little bit, and him and Newt kind of have a good dynamic. It's almost
honestly the movie did need more of them.
Yeah, I think
banter.
so. Yeah,
Yes.
They had a very like Abbott and Costello thing going on.
Yeah,
it was
they
really
did.
fun, which is appropriate for the time too, because it was
True.
the 20s.
Yep.
And yeah, so we could have used more of the two of them.
Yes, and Dan Fogler, who played Kowalski, was, in my opinion, he was the best character in the movie.
Yeah, he was very likable and identifiable.
Yes.
He's the everyman that tags
Yeah.
along.
I guess you can technically say he's the audience surrogate in a way.
Yeah, yeah, and he gets the girl too, which was great.
Yeah, he does. Spoilers. Anyway.
Yeah, I do like that you don't need to really know a whole lot about Harry Potter to...
There are some allusions to the series proper, but there aren't many.
Yeah.
It's not like you need to watch everything beforehand, or have even read Fantastic Beasts itself.
Yeah.
So
that was cool. I mean, they mentioned Hogwarts a couple times. And
yeah, they mentioned... Dumbledore did get a shout-out at one point in the movie.
Yeah.
But back then, he wasn't headmaster, he was just a teacher.
What I did like about this, and it's something that I really wish we'd see a little bit more of, when trouble starts, there's like a secret organization in New York, which is like I guess backed by the government, of wizards who try to keep the peace. They try to keep everybody blissfully unaware of
basically
stuff.
Britain has the Ministry of Magic. America has the Magical Congress of America.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. I wish more movies would have like. It reminded me a lot of like Men in Black.
Yeah.
Where like they have this organization, but when you usually have that, it's always associated with science fiction.
Right.
You don't see that often with fantasy. Like we need more like Men in Black style movies for fantasy stuff.
Well, I mean, you have the Ministry of Magic from Harry Potter. I know the Jim Butcher novels. Harry Dresden has something similar.
Yeah.
Though I'm not as well versed in those.
I guess you could make an argument for the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense.
BPRD, yeah, you can
for
do that as
Hellboy.
well.
Yeah, I guess so. But they kind of get overshadowed by Men in Black a lot.
Well, of course.
Yeah, so.
And Men in Black, that comic book is fucking hardcore.
Yeah, I've been meaning to read it. Actually.
Forget neuralizers. They straight up murder your ass. I'm not kidding.
It won't be the first time a horrific comic turns into a...
Yeah, an exceedingly violent comic gets turned into a family-friendly...
Yeah. I was shocked to discover the Mask comic. That is horrific.
Yeah, it really was.
Anyway, we're getting off track here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that. I like how it's just the organization of they keep they keep the peace.
Yeah.
But it does bring up an issue. The issue I did have with this movie. This movie is two movies.
It really is. Yes.
Because you thought that he's gonna lose his case and he's got to go find his creatures.
Yeah.
And he's the whole movie's gonna be him hunting for the creatures. Only I think 3 escaped.
Only about 3.
And they caught them relatively quickly. And then that plot line was resolved.
Mm-hmm.
But the other plot line was there was this organization, New Salem. It was
New
called,
Salemers,
which actually is a good thing. I like. They're like anti-magic.
Yeah, they're like witch hunters.
They're witch hunters, but I don't think they're kind of like they're always on like soapboxes on the street. They're handing out flyers. They're like they're like the Tea Party for
something like that
for magic.
But I mean, you think the woman who runs them is going to be the big bad of the movie, and then all this other shit happens.
Yeah. So
there's no real clear villain in this movie.
That's
no
true.
Clear antagonist.
Well, there kind of is, but it would get into spoilers.
Yeah. We'll get into those in a bit.
But yeah, I like that they have. I don't know if this was a thing in the books or in the other Harry Potter movies, but yeah, I like that there is like the Muggles or the
Nomads, as they're called in America.
I like that they're kind of trying to like fight against them. They're like the Anti-Mutant League from X-Men.
Yeah, the Brotherhood.
Except that they're not backed by the government. They're just
the Friends of Humanity.
Yeah, they're seen as a bunch of just crazies that are preaching on the street. So yeah, there's them, and there's also this there's an election going on with all these people that we don't really know anything about. We know this guy who's the son of the newspaper editor, and he's running for Senate, and then he gets assassinated by magic, and they think that one of Newt's monsters did it, but he says he doesn't do it, but they don't believe him.
Yeah.
And there's like corruption involved, and
New York just turns into a giant ball of fuck by the end.
Yeah, man, it's always New York that gets wrecked.
It's either New York or Los Angeles. Those are the like East or West Coast. Take your pick.
Yeah, move to Chicago. Nothing
Why can't you
happens
just
there.
fuck up Des Moines for once? You know, seriously.
Mess up a city no one cares about.
Right. Go to Cleveland. I don't care.
Stop messing with our beloved giant cities.
Kansas City, Kansas or Missouri. I don't care which.
Yeah, man. It's always New York, man. It's always like Ghostbusters and King Kong and.
I know all the bad shit happens there.
The Avengers.
Yeah.
Now Harry Potter.
Marvel, forget it. All of Marvel's like New York.
Yeah, true.
That's where everything goes down first.
Yeah. But yeah, there was two plot lines in this movie because we like the whole thing with like Newt felt incidental.
Yeah.
Because he only got involved when they thought that he was the one, or one of his monsters was the one that caused the problem. Which, by the way, him and the investigator that was with him were
Tina.
Yeah, Tina. She was arrested for assisting him. They were sentenced to death, and wizard death is kind of horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like some weird oily acidic stuff that they just dunk you in.
Yeah, and what's fucked up is like they like pull out like good memories and they put it into the pool.
Yeah, to try and entice you to go in.
And your executioner's like, doesn't that look like fun? Do you want to go in?
Yes.
And you're like, yes.
Yeah, we're going in.
It was horrible.
It was.
Yeah, so this could have very easily been 2 movies. And I feel like they did it because supposedly they're going to franchise this. They want to do like 5 movies involved. I don't know if they're going to build off of this directly or if I feel like what they're going to do is maybe do what Star Wars is doing right now and just do side stories.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like Rogue One or the
just do unrelated, just in the same universe, kind of Kevin Smith, William Faulkner kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like if they do make this a direct sequel, it's they could build off of that because they were talking about how if they get exposed, there's going to be a war because when shit goes down in New York, you see people like watching and taking pictures, and the guy who's the editor whose son was killed, he was like those damn devils, and they're trying to they would have.
I want justice.
Yeah. Yeah, there was also, I guess we can get into spoilers right now.
Yes, we're going into spoilers
territory. By the way. The one thing, it kind of went nowhere.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about, like, one of the Colin Farrell, his...
Mr. Graves.
Yeah, Mr. Graves. His name was, he was one of the investigators. He was talking to one of the kids as part of the New Salem people, and he says, there is a child among you who is very powerful, and because they were part of the New Salem thing, the headmistress hated magic. You're not allowed to use magic, and they established that when someone who is magical doesn't use their powers, doesn't hone their powers, it sort of builds up.
Yeah, if you suppress it, it builds into something called an obscurus.
Yeah, and it's just this dark blob of destruction.
Yeah.
And
it just gets bigger the more you suppress it.
And they were, they said, one of the kids who was working for you guys is one of these, and we have to find out who it is right away. And it turned out that it was the eldest son that she had adopted, who Gray was in contact with.
Full name Clearwater Revival.
Yeah,
No,
her kids apparently had weird names. Like, what was the girl's name?
Modesty.
Modesty.
Was her
Yeah,
name.
I guess they were all named after some. They alluded to that it could have been her, but it turned out to be him.
Yeah.
And he just, like, his powers got unleashed, and he was just wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
And that's when Newt came back in, because he says that he's seen this before, and he can pull the Obscurus out of him and possibly save him. Yeah. So he was trying to talk to him. Meanwhile, the other wizards were fighting him, and they end up killing him.
Yeah.
Which was surprising.
Which was very surprising.
Yeah. And then it turned out that Graves was another wizard terrorist in disguise.
Yeah, I forgot.
They mentioned him at the beginning of the movie, and I missed it. I actually
Grindwald.
Yeah, something like that. It was Johnny Depp, by the way.
Yes, that is the greatest magic trick this movie pulled, is turning Colin Farrell into Johnny Depp.
Quite impressive.
What's I don't know. Farrell in this movie kind of looked like. You ever see The Frighteners?
Yes.
He looked like
Oh
Milton
my
Dammers.
God. Oh
Did
my
he?
God. It was the hair.
It was the hair.
My body is a roadmap of pain. Oh my God. Anyway. Yeah, so the reason why I'm saying they could build off of this one is because they had established that they're, I guess, terrorists like him.
Yeah.
And I guess they can go from there and maybe do accomplices he had, or maybe do like what Legend of Korra did and just introduce like a bigger, badder villain per movie.
Yeah. Greater scope villain.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to franchise, but I will say that I liked it. I liked it a lot. So
yeah, same.
Yeah.
Long on visuals, kind of short on plot.
Yeah.
I think it tried to do too many things at once. It should have just stuck with Newt trying to get his creatures back.
Yeah, definitely. I like I said, they could have very easily split this into 2 movies.
Oh, indeed.
And then it might have been a little bit more palatable that way. Perhaps the plot line with the terrorist and the Obscura, this or whatever it was, might have maybe been a little too dull on its own.
Yeah.
So they incorporated the Fantastic Beasts.
Well, they kind of glossed over it a little bit too, because like it's just an expositional dump at the beginning and just in the form of newspapers. Like, who is Grunwald or whatever, and it's like you forget about the guy.
Yeah.
Till he comes back. As Johnny Depp.
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I am interested to see if Harry Potter fans actually enjoyed this movie, because I know the new book that came out. A lot of people didn't like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend it if just be aware of what it is before going into it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to?
No,
with it?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Nothing after the credits,
yes,
by the way.
that's exactly where I was going.
That's another thing. Like, I knew that they were gonna make more movies, so I figured there'd be like an Avengers style teaser at the end of this, but there wasn't. So, yeah, don't stay for the credits.
Yep, don't do it. Anyways, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too. All right, so
enjoy.
Thumbs up. Yeah, enjoy. Yeah.